The last time, Jim, that the Royals ended up making consecutive ALCS appearances was in 1984-85, and guess what? They played the Toronto Blue Jays in that ALCS en route to winning the '85 series. It's been quite the week for the University of Missouri, but after some questions, there will be a football game tonight, and fans are clearly pretty excited about it. It's time to take the MU out of mock. The Missouri Tigers have dismissed its former starting quarterback from the football team. The two basketball arenas are separated by just 0.8 of a mile. If they really wanted to, Stevens could probably warm up by jogging to the game. And they're going to go ahead and face Purdue. Iowa State has a lot of offense, but their defense not so great. Tallest player, 6'9". I think size, once again, a huge factor. Move Purdue on.
She's been working so hard on that.
Pat Reardon says when he was younger, he never really had a place he could call home.
Because growing up as a kid, I moved about 12 times and never really had a hometown.
But he has now found stability coaching softball at Central Methodist for the last 24 years. Since his parents moved back to Missouri 10 years ago, his father has coached alongside him as an assistant. As you might expect with a father-son relationship, the two have not always seen eye to eye.
I'll have plans 3 or 4 months out, and he's pretty much next hour plan. So the first year, I think I quit about 3 times, and as we got through it, I quit less and less often.
I don't think he's quit this year yet at all. I can't remember if he has or not, but usually I entice him back with a nice, I threaten to double his salary, which is 0 right now. So anytime I double it, you know, he's pretty happy with that.
But they must be doing something right. Before this season, the two had celebrated 5 consecutive conference championships together.
Last year here, the final out and kind of everybody out there and just hugging my dad and sharing that stuff with him has been great.
After that moment, another Reardon in the stands realized she wanted to be out there with them. Pat's daughter, Addie.
It was really cool watching. At that point in time, I had committed, so I was like, okay, I really hope that next year I can be out there too.
Pat had coached Addie her whole life, so she says the transition to college has been easy. And just like Gene and Pat, more than just a love for softball runs in the family.
Me and my grandpa are pretty much the same person, so we bicker a lot.
Yeah, and then I usually get in trouble with my granddaughter or grandma.
He just wants the best for me, and I'm very stubborn, so it doesn't always work, but for the most part, it's good.
In the first season with Dad, daughter, and Grandpa all together, Addie got her wish. Central Methodist won its 6th consecutive conference championship, and this time, she was on the field with them.
You know, when we did win it, I just gave her a big hug and I said we got a ring, and so, so all 3 of us now will have one for the rest of our lives.
And of course, I teared up after that because that's a cool thing for a dad and daughter to have.
Pat might not have had a place he could call home as a kid, but he has certainly found his home now. Connor Handel, KOMU 8 Sports, Fayette. Coaches and players could talk for hours about Arnell Monroe.
Lovable guy. Nobody could stay mad at Arnell. If you were mad, he will bring a smile to any situation.
He could get us more excited about anything than any man in the world could.
He knows everybody on the team. Everybody on the team, he loves everyone. No matter who you are, what you've done, everybody on that team, he loves.
It didn't take long after talking to those close to Coach. There was a common theme.
Everybody that knows Arnell knows he's a go-to guy. Whether you were buying a car, buying some insurance, needed a doctor to do surgery, Arnell was the person to call.
He looked out for me more than anybody else on the team did. I feel like he's a huge father figure to me and a huge role model.
If I went for football or nothing, Coach, I don't know if I would have even made it to see my senior year. I probably would have dropped out, just said forget it and all that, but he kept me on the right path.
All it is a reality check, teaching these kids to be responsible, live up to their mistakes, and, pay the bill. Pay the butcher is what he would say, pay the butcher.
Even when it didn't have to do with football, Monroe would take time out of his day to help with kids off the field.
Like this year, he sent me to Douglas to get my grades up and all that. But that was if he didn't want me to get my grades up, he wouldn't have sent me there. He would have made me stay here and just let me struggle, but he sent me somewhere where I could get education and come back and play football my senior year.
I hope what he's instilled in these kids is, like I said, is to fight, to keep on fighting. No matter what, keep fighting.
Connor Handel, KOMU 8 Sports, Columbia.
KOMU 8 Sports.
The Missouri softball team looking for some revenge as Nebraska ended the Tigers' season in the Columbia Regional 2 years ago. Today, the Tigers had an opportunity to get one step closer to knocking the Huskers out in double elimination format. Paige Lowry took the mound, and she was dealing today. In the second, she rings up Maddie Unzicker, and then the next inning, it's Bree Cassidy, same result. And then she does it with her glove. Both teams scoreless heading to the bottom of the fourth. 2 on, 1 out for Chloe Rathburn, and she steps to the batter's box and screams one to right center. Outfielder cannot handle it, and Sammy Fagan rounds third, and she'll get the Tigers on the board. One batter later with a runner on third, the Tigers drop a suicide squeeze. Colby Romaine drops the bunt, and Amanda Sanchez able to score. Here's another look at it. Nice jump by Sanchez. 2-0 Tigers. To the fifth, runners in scoring position for Crane, and she chops it up the middle, brings in one, and the speedy Gadboy's on second. She'll round and score a second run there. 4-0 Tigers with the lead. Next inning, it's Crane again. 2 on for her this time, and she golf swings it to the golf course. 3-run shot. Tigers reach the run limit, taking this one 8-0. Lowry throws a complete game shutout, giving up 2 hits and tossing 6 strikeouts. The Tigers are 1 win away from winning the regional and have a chance to clinch tomorrow at 1:30.
Paige pitched great. I was really proud of my team for some executionary stuff early in the game.
Missouri baseball team was on the other end of a masterful pitching performance, losing to Kentucky 2-1, while Reggie McClain threw well for the Tigers, giving up just 2 runs in 8 innings. Kentucky's Dustin Beggs threw 8 innings scoreless and notched the win. Missouri finishes its regular season tomorrow at noon versus Kentucky. Matty Mock will return to the football field next season, only he won't be wearing black and gold. The senior quarterback has decided to transfer to Eastern Kentucky for his final season. Mock will be eligible to play for the FCS school immediately. He will likely compete for the starting spot with returning senior starter Benny Coney, who threw for the 2nd most yards in school history last season with just shy of 2,500 passing yards. And that's sports.